I am Brett Matum of brett.matum.net. In this Level 100 session, I'll discuss the typical learning path to master programming in C#. Often I get asked by students how to better learn and what direction to follow to become a good programmer. I've put these answers into the screencast. I'll chat about the learning path that you'll need to take. We'll look at some certifications. I'll point you in some directions of some learning resources, and then finally wrap it up with some tips. Here's an overview of the learning path. The first is to learn the C# syntax, and then go into the .NET framework and the class libraries. Then pick a speciality of either front-end or back-end. Following this, you'll need to learn some patterns and practices. And then finally, maintaining this knowledge and keeping up with latest industry trends. I'll now go look at each one in a little bit more detail. The first thing is to get to know the C# syntax. You'll need to learn the C#, the language, and the construct, as this helps you code. You'll also need to become comfortable with the tools that you're going to use. This is the IDE and several command line tools. Next is the framework. The .NET Framework class library has several common and useful classes within it, such as collections, link, and the extension methods it offers, common interfaces and classes. You'll also need to get used to things like working with input and output and file streams, and then generally manipulating data, potentially looking at things like XML. The next is to pick a specialization. You'll need to choose whether you want to do front-end or back-end work. In front-end work, you might look at things like Windows Forms, Windows Presentation Foundation, or Silverlight. You might want to do some game programming with XNA, or web development using ASP.NET or MVC. On the other hand, you may want to look at back-end development using things like Windows Communication Foundation, building services, multi-threading, or looking at databases. You might want to work in the Windows Azure platform, or with security using Identity Foundation. These are only a few options available to you. Whatever option you choose, you most probably will have to go and learn some other products. So for example, if you want to do web development, you most probably need to learn HTML. If you want to learn databases, you most probably will have to learn T-SQL. The next is to learn pattern and practices and good programming structure. This includes things like unit testing, dependency injection, and inversion of control, looking at mocking frameworks. Potentially you might want to look at application lifecycle management. There are many more options available. Finally, the industry changes quickly, so you'll need to keep up to date with the latest of trends. You can do this by reading news, blogs, or attending courses. Or you can get involved with communities, user groups, and go to seminars. The next topic is certification. Getting a certification allows you to prove and demonstrate that you have some level of knowledge. There are several certifications that Microsoft offer. The first is the Microsoft Certified Technical Specialist. This proves that you are proficient in some technology, such as web, Windows, or Windows Azure. You may want to extend this and get your Microsoft Certified Professional Developer. There are also different options, such as Windows applications, server communications, data applications, and web applications. If you're new to programming, a certification could open a door for you. There are several learning resources at your disposal. This course on my blog site. On Microsoft's website on microsoft.com/learning, you would find information on exams and public courses. The internet and your favorite search engine can prove very valuable. There are also heaps of technical books available through services like Amazon. Some learning tips for you. As I mentioned earlier, learning to program is going to take significant effort. So set yourself a consistent learning pace. Don't burn out. Go through all the basics. Don't assume anything. Try, practice. Do all the labs. Then set yourselves regular checkpoints where you review what you have learned and notice your progress that you have made. This will motivate you. The biggest tip is write code. Learning to program is about writing code. Start by writing a few little pet projects. Tinker around, try new things, experiment. Writing code is the way you're going to really learn how to program. In review, start by learning the C# syntax. Write lots of code and practice a lot. From a learning point of view, consistency is important. Don't burn out, set yourself a regular pace.